It seems to me, you mentioned the point at which you were thinking about committing suicide, and you said obviously you didn't do that. We're all thankful that you didn't. It also seems to me that counselor was pretty good, because you seem like you're in a good place right now. I don't want to make that assumption, but I will ask, how are you feeling in general now? How do you feel today about mental health, and what are your current thoughts about therapy?
I'm very thankful for that counselor and for therapy in general, because, like I said, growing up, I always thought, therapy, counseling, like those are for people who have problems, but that's not the case. Therapy is there for you to have a space where you could comfortably talk about your feelings, if you don't necessarily feel comfortable talking to your family or friends. And I mean, I do have my days, but because of what I've learned from, counseling and, mental health, like what am I trying to say? Like how mental health is, a thing, and there's like a lot of things processing in your head, and, the different tools that, they taught me to, just talk about it, to like say it verbally. And I think that was one of the cases that, when I had went to my first session, was actually saying it out loud, because all of these things, I felt them, they were in my head, but I never actually acknowledged them. And so mental health, I believe that it's a big issue within the Pacific Islander community. There's a lot of work being done, but still a lot of people within our community have an old mindset, and they're not willing to unlearn those systems that they've been taught. They're still stuck in that mindset. But there's a lot of, of our younger generation folks who are trying to change that, trying to change the narrative for our future generations. So yeah, I'm a huge advocate for mental health within the Pacific Islander community, and just for anyone, because a lot of what we're feeling is valid. And what we've been taught growing up is to, suck it up, is to, put on that best face and just go about your day. At the end of the day, you still need to do what you got to do. And you can do that, but you still have to, acknowledge that your mental health is just as important as your physical health.
You are doing more than you may know right now to change that narrative, Isaiah. So I really, on behalf of Brother Be Well, really want to thank you for sharing that story. As you've continued on that journey, you have developed what I thought was a really, really impressive set of tips for optimal living. I'm wondering if you feel comfortable and would like to share just a few of those tips for optimal living.
Yeah, of course. Some things that I've just learned in my time ever since, I was introduced to, counseling and everything, is to just be open to therapy, and seeking professional help, because for a long time, I didn't want to go, because I didn't want to acknowledge that, I needed help, that, these signs were like right in front of me. And another thing is to, don't be afraid, and just because, you might suffer from depression, anxiety, all these different disorders, it doesn't make you any less of a person, and what you're feeling is valid. Because also, as like a male growing up within the Pacific Islander community, we're like the ones who have to kind of like suck it up and, be there for our families, be the strong ones, don't let a tear fall, or else, you might seem like fragile. And, I would just say to don't listen to that, because it does affect you negatively, because, every person cries, no matter what gender you are, everyone has feelings, and that's the important thing that we need to know. And seeking professional help is also like something important, because, it's a space where you can go and talk about your feelings, talk about what's happening, and, just be comfortable within yourself and to just let it out. So,
Your story, I could talk to you for quite a while. I'm inspired by your journey and more inspired by your willingness to be so transparent and sharing it, Isaiah. We're just about out of time, but really want to thank you once again, Isaiah Aitolu, and I'm proud of myself for getting the pronunciation of your name correct, sir. Want to thank you for sharing your story with Brother Be Well, and invite you that are watching, if you'd like to hear more from Isaiah or get some additional tips or learn about resources that Brother Be Well offers, go to our website, mentalhealthca.org. You can also subscribe to our magazine there. So again, my name is Michael P. Coleman, Director of Content. On behalf of Brother Be Well, I want to thank you for watching and encourage you to take care of yourself and somebody else. Bye-bye.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.